Welcome back, y'all. Tyler Talks. I'm going to talk real quick. Going to do a shorter video. It's been 2 weeks since I did a video, maybe going on 3 now. And since then, I got engaged. Yay. And then I got the promotion. So I put in for a position came open in my company that I've very much been wanting. I had to wait for it to come open. It's been 2 years, and the position finally came open, and I applied, and I got it. So, very busy 2 weeks, very exciting 2 weeks, but I wanted to do a video. Of course, not going out of town, but my fiance is picking up shifts in Atlanta. She does anesthesia, so she's picking up shifts. And honestly, it's just to pay for the wedding. So we're going to be in Atlanta for the weekend. I'm leaving tonight, and then I won't get back till Monday morning. So just busy, but I wanted to do a video. I tried to do one yesterday with adding on to the Israel's Deliverance video, doing part 2. It's just a very lengthy video, and I wasn't able to give as much time as I wanted to that video. And that's not fair because that video is going to be geared towards newer players. So I wanted to make sure that video is very good. But I can do this one quickly. So this is, it is at 51. You could easily cut an enhancement. I play a little bit more defense. Foreign wise is not supposed to be in there. I originally had murder's command. So yay, we got room for an enhancement. Let's do that real quick. I really like pot of mana with add to battle doms. Like, I think that's really good. Probably just gonna go straight to IR and add something in here. I really like Guilt Offering too. And then the only other thing is we are going to be playing a lot off Zadok. So anything that's CBP is also good. We already have that in there. Probably Trumpet Blast. Let's play with some Trumpet Blast. That's a really good card in a pot of mana build, though, where you can generate more value, taking from deck or reserve. I really like the idea of that card being in here. Heavy Taxes never works. Okay, there we go. And there it is. We're back, baby. So, I love the idea of heavy taxes, especially off like Emperor Duplicity. It just doesn't work. Okay, so we've got HoneyPot action, and I've been saying, honestly, when was TJC? When was the Thomas J. Memorial? September, October, I believe. Yeah, it was October, and afterwards, I was talking about how people should explore Holy Holies and Pot of Mana, but with other offenses. And I put a Bethlehem build out there, and you could play Bethlehem with a full Ruth offense, which is really good. If you want to see one, Jake Agar the Wise, co-host of Threshing Floor, he's got a really good gray-white build that would work very well with HoneyPot, with Holy Holies and Pot of Mana, and Bethlehem makes all the Luke heroes CBP and Ruth heroes CBP. And it's very easy to get characters going, and you can get characters, like you can layer your stuff. So now when I say layer, I mean you can have Holy Holies down with Jesse and Obed, and now you're negating their neutrals, negating their characters and territory, and having Holy Holies down. I still play Distressed in this build as well, so I very much think that a Ruth offense, like pretty much the same deck, but with Ruth and Bethlehem, is very good. I'm not going to put a bunch of videos out there that are all the same. And all you got to do is take Jake's build, swap in the offense for this, and maybe look at some more. And then that really brings in the white gray. When you have dual alignment enhancements in a Holy Holies Pot of Mana build, that is phenomenal. So maybe I should have done that video. I don't know. Holy Holies doesn't affect this deck at all, minus it's good OT priests. So he's CBN, yeah. So it doesn't affect any of my heroes. That's kind of the whole point of Holy Holies. Only the priests were allowed. And of the characters, they're either CBN or CBP. So all of my characters work in this build. And I have very good blocks for lone characters. Now you could play Nicodemus. You can play Nicodemus Bethlehem with Luke heroes, but you can play Nicodemus and Entrapping Pharisees. It's really just like which route do you go. I really like. I don't love King Raisin and Pot of Mana, but I really like Captain of the Chariots, where I can equip, draw 2 and get the gold shield, equip Name Its Horses and get a draw 4. Potential to play first with a draw 2 or draw 4, depending on how I equip, is really good. So I like that, and I like getting the Damascus in the play. That can easily come out, and you can bring in Nicodemus and Trapping Pharisees. And trapping is pretty brutal. It's just whichever route. But I have it. Naaman is my Nicodemus. And then I also have band and capture abilities are also CBN. So I have 2 CBN characters. I don't get to Pot of Mana Holy Holies as fast. I'm at 51, and I went a little different on the DOMs. Like I made sure Falling Away and Christian Martyr are blocks in this deck. Unless, they're protected or something. I really like Chronicles, but I think if you play this deck, Falling Away and Chronicles both come out, and Crowd's Choice and Mayhem come in. You're really just trying to get, quote-unquote, the lock, like Holy Holies and Pot of Mana. You're trying to get that lock very quickly. However, the offense very quickly gets to it. So that's why I'm okay playing the way I am. You know what? I'm going to take a screenshot of this because I did not put this in Discord. Like I said, been very busy. So we do have the speed Lost Souls, and we have our battle winners with Angel, Christian, Falling Away for defense and offense, because Pot of Mana is going to be out, CBN, between Defender of the Saints and Captive Priest, and Aaron. Now you can make this faster. You can bring in Offering of Wrongdoing, and you can bring in taking the Aimless Lost Soul to snag Aaron. There's just not a lot of targets for that, so I don't like it in this build. But you can bring in Offering of Wrongdoing. I already have 4 forts and 3 arts, 2 of them being quote-unquote no tempo, right? And then Storehouse waits to get its cards. David's Tent gets the hero right away, and then 2 more slow cards. So bringing in another, even though it's Offering of Wrongdoing to get me to Aaron, was still a little difficult. The whole point is to get your Aaron, and you can snag an artifact right away. You don't get to activate it that turn because you're going to be in battle, but you should have one piece of the puzzle on turn 1. I always grab Holy Holies first, and then turn 2, if you haven't gotten the other piece, you should be able to go out with Aaron and snag the next piece. In turn 3, you're set up. That's pretty much how the deck always runs. You could make it more consistent. I don't think you have to, though. I think it's fine. It's still a really good defense. It's got a little bit of speed in there. You do have Daenerys. You have Mask of Pride. You got Lying Prophet, and then you have Raisin and Captain of the Chariots with Damascus and two weapons to use to equip and draw. I really like Pot of Mana with Solomon's Temple. I know I don't want to necessarily underdeck because I want the artifacts to stay out. But having that like potential to negate an evil card isn't bad. I really wanted Ark of the Covenant up here. Can't fit everything. That is a little bit of a different deck. To be fair, I think that actually, like, you kind of lose Pot of Mana, and you play Holy of Holies, Ark of the Covenant, and then you can play a little bit different, but then you're bringing in more banding. But you have Ark of the Covenant that's phenomenal, and you swap your dominance as well. So there's a lot of little tweaks you can do with this deck, and it's very, very good. People don't really play priests, so when you're playing them, you're getting Holy Holies with some form of protection, and you're usually attacking with CBN Phineas' Spear, or Zadok with a reserve with a D3 and a Grain Offering. Or I'm sorry, which one is it? Sin Offering. So, not bad at all. You don't have to always attack with Zadok, but just having Holy Holies, Pot of Mana, and these two heroes is really good. And then having plenty of just some sort of protection is also really good. And then getting the constant draws. So, I like it. I don't think there's too much else to talk about. I've played this defense a lot this year. I'm not running Tabernacle to recur Philosophy. I like the potential for Solomon's Temple to negate. Maybe that's not needed. I don't know. But Tabernacle was just there was only one card in the deck that Tabernacle could recur. And that's not bad. I just felt like having that potential to negate at any time in a Pot of Mana is really good. So yeah, you are going to negate all characters, and every single one of your characters, Holy Holies doesn't touch. All your priests work, none of theirs work. You should get Holy Holies immediately with Aaron, have Holy Holies active turn 2, go snag Pot of Mana, and really start punishing them with a 10-9 that's protected, usually with enhancements to back them up. Or a 4-9 that's negating enhancements that gets a D3 that has Sin Offering to also back them up. And you can constantly put Sin Offering in reserve and get it back the next turn with Storehouse. So the offense it looks maybe, a little thin. You're reusing Grain Offering, Overcome, and Phineas' Spear all the time. So you're not really wasting enhancements. The rest are just kind of there when you need them. So I don't think this deck will be as popular just because it's Priest, which is crazy to me. And I don't know, maybe I'll post the I've posted the Luke version before with Bethlehem, but I think the Ruth version is really good. It also goes to Holy Holies quickly. But you're using like David, Covenant with David's harp. So you're adding in an extra artifact, but you also get the Jesse, Obed, the David. I love side battles, and you're getting the dual alignment white-gray, which is very good in a Pot of Mana deck. So that's another one I would say is good. And then, of course, you can take out Pot of Mana and bring in Ark of the Covenant and kind of switch up the offense a little bit with like a little bit of banding. And then you get the Ark play. If you could, and maybe that's like a Wilderness Clay build that has battle extension, because Ark of the Covenant with battle extension is brutal. Like, it is so good. So, and if you don't know what arc, like, you forgot why it's so good. So you get the Restrict Evil Dominance. So Justin Alstead would hate this card. And then if your Good Priest is removed from battle by an opponent's ability, you may discard an evil card. So, like, yeah, you will remain. That's good. But you want other sort of, like, Moses to Aaron to whoever, like Zadok with Ark of the Covenant, and you have your main up, an indentured servant out there, some sort of like battle extension. That's a phenomenal offense. You are discarding their evil card, and you are literally walking into battle. Like, it's so good, but people aren't going to play that. So, and maybe that's another one that I just put in Discord. Also, Hendrix, I'm not going anywhere, baby. Jess has known about Redemption for a very long time. She's not a fan of how much time I put into it, but to be quite frank, neither am I at times. I put in a lot of time. So we'll run it real quick. I want to get it down to 50. But yeah, your boy ain't going anywhere. And also, we are withholding the Boom Boom cards, as I like to call them, from Israel's Inheritance. We're withholding some of the bigger, shinier ones. So don't worry about what's coming out now. It's really just giving you a little peek here and there. Maybe something comes out today or tomorrow. I don't know. Another one. So, okay, I hate losing stars. Stars are free abilities. I really don't like losing them. If your opponent has stars, they literally are getting more abilities over you. I know we don't track it, but if you tracked actions per game, like how many times you activate an ability, through my experience, I have found that people who activate more abilities win. So I would love if that was a stat where like people could watch at a small tournament, like watch a couple games, but it's just very difficult. You're constantly just doing dash marks. But if you activate an ability, using a star counts. Like that's you're using an ability, and when you have someone doing, I don't know, 100 activations because they got stars and speed and all this stuff, and you're doing 60 or something, chances are opponent's doing a lot more, getting a lot more value. So I'm going on a tangent. Turn one doesn't look great. It also isn't horrible, like depending on if we go first. We do not mind going second in this build. Also, another thing with the Ruth build, you get Lost Child Found, so that's very nice. We do not mind going second here at all. I would like to go second. And then don't need to do anything with Captain of the Chariots. We actually want to get the D2 and the protection here. And look, now we got Aaron. And we can go straight into a philosophy if we want. Or we can go into a discard. I don't love using my capture right now, depending on what the numbers are in battle. Since I have an interrupt, I almost want to use my negate just to discard a good card from their hand. It's still knowing that I have a falling way and I'm protected from the first. Ultimately, I think the smarter move is leaving the negate and the interrupt in my hand and using my capture, assuming there's only one in battle. And then if they do anything, I get my negate, and that should win the battle with the pop from their hand. And if you can if you can block and you just took out Son of God or Second Coming from their hand, like, they're tilted. And it takes a lot of mental toughness to win a game without a Son of God and get it sniped that early. So let's see. Our turn. What are you doing? I've been off work. Good to go here. And we don't need... We could put a Ahimelech down. Yeah. I don't have a way to get Tubby Ahitub back. So, pause the video and stop to my Microsoft. I don't have a way to get Tubby back. And that's because my artifacts are theoretically always going to be the same too. So I didn't have Book of the Covenant to get Ahitub. I'm saying that because I can go Captive Priest to Ahitub. Ahitub reserves himself. I would get the draw 1, and then I could go to Aaron. I can still do that. I just realized that I just don't have a way to get back old Tubby. It's going to be tough to get him. I mean, I guess a Himalek can get him back. So Priest goes over there. Let's go get Tubster. And we're going... I don't know, I gave credit to him before, but Tubby... Jay gave him that name, and it is so funny. And then I protect Lost Souls from evil cards. I reserve this card to add a Tabernacle Priest from hand deck territory. And I'm going to Aaron, and my Himalek is still waiting to draw. I got to complete my abilities. And Aaron's going to Holy Holies. And then I get to draw 1, take that. Hey, stop it. Clicking. And if they play anything, if I even allow them to play anything, because I have an Angel Lord, I kind of want them to play something because I have Generous Giving. Just to get the interrupt draw 3, and then you're just hoping that you draw into something. If you have the attack, you got the rescue. I turned you off, and then if you have the attack and or the block, whatever it is, just do it. I talked to Jeremy before, and he knows me very well, and he was like, "Yeah, you tend to hold your dominance." I've said that in a video before, and he is correct. So don't want to hold him even if you want to get the interrupt draw 3. I didn't have anything to play after that. You just want to kill the character and move on. Now we're already in a really good spot. We got our Holy Holies, got our storehouse, and we're looking pretty good. So now we can already go, and we can go to the reserve. But what's really nice is we have, while Pot of Mana is not out, and it would be turn 2, let's get some card advantage going. So then we can play, we can go to Captain, and then we can equip to draw 2, discard it to convert them. Doesn't put them in special initiative. They would have to band. And if they did band, I would have played Falling Away as well. I don't want to give my opponent the opportunity to play enhancements. I actually want to play that Falling Away and move along. So assuming they had 2 heroes in battle, that's what I would do. I can now underdeck a card to draw 1. I feel good with where I'm at, even though I like having characters in my hand. And what do you know? That was the right move. Don't forget, even though everyone's running Clay, maybe they're playing Nativity or something, you want to put your best Lost Soul in Damascus. And then we have our upkeep on Storehouse. If you forget upkeep, I'm going to say this all the time, if you forget upkeep, put something on there. I use Chapstick. I am trying to weed off Chapstick. I need to join Chapsticks Anonymous, but very much put something on your cards to where you can see it. And at this point, I can flip, and I don't need to put Solemn Temple in there because if they get rid of it, Holy Holies is gone, so I actually leave it to the side until I have Glory. And I have Holy Holies. Phineas is down. I got the Spear. I don't have Pot of Mana yet, but I'm about to. But I have an absolutely bonkers hand for this. Aaron goes out, and we're gonna go grab some pot, and then we're gonna go to Phineas, and Phineas is gonna reserve this, and then I will select their Evil Brigade, and I'll get the draw 1 off of Himalek. And now Phineas is protected. Aaron is not. I am able to play Overcome and have Son of God or Generous Giving if they play anything, and I somehow have initiative. I have a CBN protected hero, and I'm negating characters. Pretty difficult to deal with. So if I do get the interrupt draw 3, I would just interrupt and then discard an evil character. If they had anything on top of that, I still have interrupts and negates. So I feel really good with that attack. That's a very strong attack. I know people might not think it is. Oh, where are you going, Overcome? You're in my hand. People might not think it is, but that is a 2-hero ban that's negating characters that, sorry. 2-hero ban that's negating characters, and one of them is CBN protected. So, extremely good. Now from here, 9 cards in hand. Don't really want to put down my Emperor. If there was a Lost Soul out there, I'd probably just go into a Son of God, because I still have something for Overcome. With 22 cards left in deck and some more dominance, I feel good about it. Don't have Pot of Mana yet, but that is okay. Depending on if they have a Priest, they pretty much just activated my trap card. If they have a Priest, I can just, or a Prophet, I'm sorry, OT. I get the D4 play next. I can also just go here to here to here. And even if they don't have that Old Testament Priest, I'm getting a draw 4. That's a ton of value. And let's see, I have my heroes that I want for David's Tent, so I can discard David's Tent to draw 2. And then I can create a token, put that in their territory. I forgot to put them in here. And then I can underdeck 1 to draw 1. Good to go. And I got a second token for Grumbled. And now I'm good. And now, depending on what they have initiative-wise, if they have 1 hero in battle, I want them gone. I really don't want to give my opponent initiative. I want to get to my game state and consistently apply pressure. And I think what people don't get from priests is that they constantly apply pressure in a different way. Wilderness applies pressure in a different way. Sons of Jacob apply pressure in a different way. I make offenses all to be unique. Same with the defenses. You'll see that in Inheritance. I like to pressure my opponents in different ways, and each offense will be unique in the way they attack, and priests will constantly be protected with either bans or negating, and plenty of strong enhancements to back them up. So with priest, they are just constantly going to be hitting you with CBN protection, whatever it may be. So don't forget. We knew we didn't have any stars, so we skipped over that, created a token, and we're going to go straight to upkeep. We know what to do. We're grabbing Phineas's Spear. Isn't this crazy? I maxed out my hand with priests. Gray's pretty fast with a mask. Jenner's giving over here, and name its horses. So now we're at 16. Now we can have some fun. Glory down, can snag Tabernacle or Solomon's Temple. And now I feel really good at where I'm at. I have CBN, they're protected. Shield's down. And now I can just hit them with CBN Phineas. Just over and over. I'd probably go Second Coming, Son of God. And I already feel like I'm at, 1, 2, 3, probably 4 Lost Souls right now. So with Holy Holy's active and Pot of Mana up, they have to stop. I get the draw 1 off of Himelech. They would have to stop at 10-9 CBN protected. Like I said, I feel really good about that. If I wanted to, I probably should have done Defender of the Saints to Tubby and gotten the additional draw 1. Just was talking and forgot about it, to be honest. So they have to stop at 10-9. That's CBN protected from an Evil Brigade. They very much can use dominance, and that's why I like the idea of no Pot of Mana and using Ark of the Covenant instead. I almost wonder if that's a stronger offense. I don't know. Restricting evil doms with protection just is very good. I also very much want Guilt Offering in here. I don't use a ton of territory class enhancements. Do I use any? I don't think I use a single one, honestly. Yeah, I don't use any. Suck it, salty. So like I would like to use Guilt Offering not sure what comes out for that. Maybe Roman Destroys. It's a tough one. I kind of leave it in there as needed. Maybe Scattered, since I have RDJ, Scattered Sheep, Arrest in Philippi. Maybe Scattered comes out, and I bring in Guilt Offering. And when you're coming out with the Protection hero, that's just really good. The other thing is Naaman's Horses is really in there as just a draw engine. And you know what? Maybe we do bring in like Ark of the Covenant and we have two different cons, like win cons. We can Ark of the Covenant chip away with Protection. I just hate not having to add to battle with Holy Holies active at all times. Or we flip up the pot of mana as needed. Not entirely sure. That is for you to find out, right? What am I doing? Guilt. So they would have an ish. They can do chump blocks. That's absolutely fine. That is why I'm playing Chronicles. If I see like a character come into battle and they're playing Gray or Herods, then and I suspect a chump, then I can just Chronicles, assuming they don't have Humble. One of my versions did have Covet and Wanderer, to where I could take their Humble. It's probably not that was a good idea when I did it, so probably needs to come back in. So yeah, that would be very difficult for them to stop. I am susceptible to dominance, but we'd see. And then after that, I put down some characters, and I'm okay with that character coming down. I got a lot in my hand. That's also assuming I didn't play anything in that battle, you know? Like, well, if I did, I would have just played this and it reserves itself. I'd probably just reserve something off of Storehouse at the end there. And then I would get to draw one off of Himalek. And I'd probably reserve something else and get to draw one off of Himalek and then put down Zadok. So, not bad. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I still feel like I can block. I feel like I talked more about the Ark of the Covenant version, so maybe that's what this deck needs to be. But I very much like Holy Holies Pot of Mana with this build. I think it's a lot of fun to play. Just knowing that all your priests get their full activations, like you don't have to worry about being CBN or CBP. You don't have to worry about Meek. Like you work, you know? So I really like it. I don't love Eleazar sitting there like being susceptible, but that is one reason why Holy Holies with Priest is really good. You don't get Eleazar with Ruth. You can. He's sitting there, which to be fair, he's sitting there doing nothing over in this build too. Like if they choose him as the hero, like Pontius Pilate would eat, you know? So I'd have to kill Pontius Pilate. But so yeah, I've been rambling on. I really don't see anyone doing Holy Holies Pot of Mana differently. John Early was playing Cloud Moses with HoneyPot and doing like Tabernacle. So there's like different things you can do. I believe he was doing Cloud Moses, Tabernacle, Recursion, but Holy Holies was turning off Moses. I think he was, I don't know. Now I'm confused. How did that work? But I just don't think people have played with this version or any version outside of pretty much the original. And I get it. Jay and John dominated, and that was back in September, and people got all afraid. And now it's like, oh, well, we're going to shift to like Herods and Nativity, and that doesn't care about Holy Holies and Pot of Mana. Nativity loves to band. Nativity has some CBI. They have some great CBN, like Mary's a great character for that, but it very much is susceptible to Holy Holy's Pot of Mana, and there's so many other things out there. Like I showed one today and talked about the Ruth build as a secondary one, and you can also play Herod's with this because Herod the Great with Herod's Temple is really good. With Choose the Hero. You lose the Glory of the Lord, though. So, but you get the other Glory of the Lord. Um, like, people aren't really hitting artifacts, so if you make your artifact CBN, I don't think you have to necessarily protect them. I think it's really nice to, but making them CBN is really important. So, you could play Herods with Holy Holy's Pot of Mana and just slam Temple down and just their characters are negated and you're just picking off heroes. So I'm rambling like I tend to do at the end of videos. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it made you think like, oh, there's some other decks that are good out there that people aren't playing or looking at. And Holy Holies and Pot of Mana is really good. And maybe we should look at other versions. So I will be gone for a little bit. I'm going to try to do another video or two next week and maybe drop the Ruth HoneyPot deck in Discord. I'll try to do that. But thank you all for watching. Sorry I've been gone for 2 weeks, but it's been for good reasons. So busy, fun, exciting news. And we will talk soon. I hope you all are getting prepped for Nats. It's going to be a very good one. Just the top cut alone with how many good players are going is awesome. So can't wait to see you all there and hope you all are prepping up for the big tournaments. See you all.